Okay, man.
What are you doing?
What? Working on the graphics, man. What are you doing?
Dude, look at the time. We got to go.
What time?
It's time for the
fuck
show.
me, dude. Did we start?
Yeah.
Did you do your notes?
I did.
Did the Chiefs make the Super Bowl?
Let's just start the show. We'll go over that a little later. I'll let you know that a little. It's okay.
Yeah, what is up, everybody? We got a new little bit of movement going. It's the end of the line. It's the end of the year. It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
It's the end of hope. It's the end of the season, man. Cheers. Cheers.
It is the end of the season. Congratulations to everyone that made it through and started your lineup every single week from week 1 to 17. For those who didn't, shame on you. You will be judged because that is a very big no-no. We've said on the show multiple times because we mean it. It's one of the unwritten rules. It's like top 5 of the unwritten rules or the commandments.
I got a tattoo of it, so technically it's kind of written.
Yeah, always put in a lineup. I don't care how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in a dynasty league where you trade away all your players and average 50 points a game because there's a team in our dynasty league that does that. But you know what? He puts in a lineup every single week.
Yep. And I wish I would have put Charbonnet in my lineup again this week. Yeah, would have got me quite a bit. But Josh, man, I mean, how was your fantasy seasons? I know you're in a 17,432 leagues, I believe.
I'll just say I might be the king of best ball.
Hey,
I
best
won
of the best ball,
but best of the best ball.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I finished second. Last year, I finished first. And in a league of 20 teams, I am currently in first. We still played through week 18, but I have a 2-game lead up. It's a median league, so I can, if they tie me, unless I somehow or another don't score any points and they score over 300, I would lose the tiebreaker. So
right.
Sorry.
A little bit of measured hope there, right?
So,
whenever you know you have a commanding lead and all probability is in your favor, and you're like, God, there's still like 1%. Like I'm not going to count the chickens yet. Yeah,
there is more than 0% chance that I could lose.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I know how to draft, I guess. Well, that's how best ball works. Half the time I'm like, you see, for best ball, for people who don't play it, you literally just draft and then the computer takes over.
You got the bestest balls of them.
I got the bestest of the balls. Yes. As far as the other leagues, finished third, just missed the playoffs in one, but got the first overall draft pick with how that all kind of shook out there. And then I made the playoffs here in this league, but I ran into a buzzsaw known as Ryan.
Good Lord.
So
we've got to have some words with that guy.
Yeah.
What he did this year was criminal. It was very hurtful. But yeah, in our league, I did finish third, as it's well documented from last week's show and the week before. God, man. But we'll find out more about the league and who the champions are. I did win my ESPN league.
Congrats.
Yep. Kind of feels like a shiny turd because the league mates weren't really involved. But the 3 that were, I played one of them. The 3, including myself, I played one of them in the championship. We had a little side bet, all right, little wager. And my daddy's got a crisp $100 bill coming to his
There you
way.
go.
And then the other one just missed the playoffs. Just every loss I had, I looked at it and it was like the number 1 or number 2. Like highest score of that week. And it was just like nothing I could do was good enough, at least for those weeks. But some things that people did do was very much good enough. In fact, it's better than good enough. I think it's the best of enough, right?
You nailed it. Nailed it. You landed the plane.
Got it.
We're not going to tell you how much turbulence you had landing it, but you landed it.
Man. Yeah, well, we landed, baby, and we landed into the top 10 of the season, baby. So we are going to do it. We don't have any graphics. But enjoy. Woo. Just imagine the moving.
Just imagine the movement.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, just like all the players, like Saquon jumping over that guy
so
who stuck this year. It's going to be great.
Oh, dude, right? The backwards flip.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the seasoned top 10. Well, I mean, we'll touch on the weekly top 10. I mean, I don't know. There might be a new king, at least for the championship week, being Derrick Henry. But we're actually going to be looking back on the year and kind of taking a little bit of a look. As you said, you're the best ball, right, around, or at least, in that league, the best at drafting. We're going to kind of probably talk about some of the busts in that draft, here in a little bit. But we're also going to be talking about the best on the year. And you cannot talk about the best of the year without talking about McCaffrey.
No.
Good freaking Lord. 405.
If you want to tune into the show not to listen to hear us talk about Christian McCaffrey, as much as we would love your viewers, you're going to be nailed with it. Because we're not only talking about what's going on this week or over the year, we're going to be talking about some superlatives that he might have gotten. And we're going to be talking about his name a lot. Because he damn sure earned it, because he was everything for the San Francisco 49ers. He sucked up he was a succubus. He sucked up all of Nick Bosa and Wagner. Warner. Yeah. Warner. But freaking Purdy was out pretty much the whole year. Pearsall still getting over a gunshot wound. I don't know. And Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, Brian Robinson. I know. They're just San Francisco's got two guys that have gunshot wounds. It's just weird. And Brandon Ayuk never saw the field. I don't think, who knows when he'll play again. Mm-hmm. And they were and George Kittle was like, it was like the Grandpa Simpson was like, oh, I'm in the game. Now I'm out of the game. Like it was kind of like that was. But you know who was always in the game? Christian McCaffrey. And you know who's always getting the ball? Freaking Christian McCaffrey. At one point it was Kendrick Bourne. But they're like, nah, we're just going to go to that guy.
Yeah. No, Bourne, I mean, he had some flashes, where it was great. I mean, because that was some of the waiver pickups that we definitely had. But for McCaffrey, he did not just do it on the ground. I mean, he's a running back, but dare I say he's kind of Taysom Hill-esque, in which
don't say that name. Don't say that on the show. We do not bring up that. He shall not be named. No.
Yeah. All McCaffrey really had to do was like throw more touchdowns and receive punts to basically just be the jack of all trades. But on the ground, 303 rushing attempts for 1,179 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns. But then on top of that, add 96 receptions. And if you're in a points per catch league, or a full PPR, you're loving that right there. And then on top of that, add 890 yards and 7 touchdowns. Then he also had 1 pass attempt. So he actually did try to pass a touchdown. But
I believe I saw the graphic after the Chicago game. This is the second time he's had over 2,000 all-purpose yards. Yeah. There's only been one other player, and his name was LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
So, which I always said, if LaDainian Tomlinson was in today's game, how dangerous he would be.
Man,
because he's LT's LaDainian Tomlinson's top 5 running back of all time in my eyes. But Chris McCaffrey, what he's doing is special when he plays all season.
Yeah, and he's been very consistent. I mean, we'll talk more about him later. But also on the season, we're talking about Josh Allen, 375 points, Bijan Robinson, 364. Josh Taylor, 356. Puka Nacua,
Jonathan Taylor,
347. Huh?
You said Josh Taylor. It's Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, well, I was thinking Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Yeah, in my head. Puka Nacua, 349 points. Jahmyr Gibbs, 347. JSN, 346. Drake May. Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about his ass. 344. And then Matt Stafford, 332.
Might be talking about his ass too. And
did Matthew Stafford? Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, 327. That rounds your overall top 10. Of course, it's going to be quarterback heavy, but we got some running backs and wide receivers that really stand out there, right?
Yeah. Brian Robinson, I think, got into the top. I think he got to the top 10 just on this week alone. against the Rams. We had
Brian Robinson?
Bijan Robinson. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, talk about Brian. Anyway, Bijan.
I said Josh Taylor. You say Brian Robinson.
Whatever.
It's going to be one of those nights, ladies and gentlemen. So strap in, buckle up. Also, like, subscribe.
Yeah. Bijan Robinson lived up to the billing this year, even when they were trying to give it to Tyler Algier way too much. But he got it. I think he got like in the top 10 just against the Rams last night alone. I mean, he had that 93-yard touchdown from scrimmage and did everything else. So he was nuts as it was. Puka Nacua, what a season. What a freaking season for Puka Nacua. JSN's the most consistent receiver. And Drake May, I think, is here to stay. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but I'll take the credit.
It's good. Yeah. No, it's going to be May. But yeah, for Puka Nacua, I mean, even some of his non-catches, like he had some of the best incomplete catches, apparently.
I mean, that almost catch against the Falcons last night. I just give it to him. He was dragging and like palmed the son of a bitch.
Oh my fucking God.
We're not going to talk about off the field. We're not going to talk about the off the field Puka Nacua. We're talking about on the field Puka Nacua.
Yeah, right. Ongoing off the field. But yeah, no, Puka Nukem. Absolutely incredible. JSN Gibbs is really the other one too. I know he didn't really show up a whole lot for your playoffs. But I mean, throughout the season, he got you into the playoffs, hands down. But I mean, really, when you talk about Bijan Robinson, looking at it, I mean, he scored 39.9 points, damn near 40 this past weekend. But he also got 35 against Buffalo in week 6. And then 30 against Carolina, 30 against the Jets, and then 29.5 and 29.8 performances. So I'm going to say 30, just round. 30 against Tampa Bay and 30 against Arizona. And 30, 30, 40 is his last 3 games. In your playoffs, 40 in your championship.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is year 2, correct?
3.
Yeah, the year 3. There we go. Coming 23. But I mean, this year 363 total points on the season. I mean, excluding week 18. If you guys are in a week 18 league, RIP to your life because that sucks. But 2024 got 341 fantasy points, and then his freshman year or rookie year 246.
It would have been a lot more if it wasn't for this dude. This guy was a bane of Bijan's existence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he obviously does not know how to work anything very well. But yeah. But I mean, you see the progression, you see the growth, and I mean, are the Falcons the best worst team? Like, it's crazy with their record.
They have a shot to make the playoffs.
Like,
they have a shot to make the playoffs in week 18.
Yeah. And they would be so much more exciting. Them or the Saints.
And the problem is the Saints look like the best team in that division right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, you got Panthers, battling out with the Buccaneers, but it's just crazy. I mean, like, I saw that they won. I was like, oh man, that's wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a good win. And started looking as like, oh, like their wins are significant wins. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like they just, rolled over 6 people just to barely get a win. Right.
Right.
They, I believe, of course, the Rams, but I think they beat Buffalo earlier in the year.
Buffalo. They came back 21 on the road to beat, or 21 or something like that on the road to beat the Buccaneers. So Raheem Morris is
the healthier Buccaneers at that point too.
Yeah, Raheem Morris is coaching his butt off right now. I've been on record before. I really like Raheem Morris as a person. And so I really want him to succeed in Atlanta. But, he can only do what he can do. Michael Penix has knees of a 70-year-old, it feels like, and has a 70-year-old starting quarterback in Kirk Cousins, it feels like there. But you know what he has? Bijan mother effing Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And
Drake London.
He's been doing this without Drake London.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the majority of the season. But.
Right. Yes, Drake London. I was skeptical about him coming out of college. I mean, I saw the intangibles, but it was a USC wide receiver, and if your name's not Amon Ra, a lot of those like highly touted USC receivers really didn't pan out, like the last handful of them. And Drake London has lived up to the billing. You talk about progression from his rookie to now. The dude is legit receiver in the league.
Yeah, and you stumbled upon Drake May, but going back to Drake May and really all the quarterbacks, him and Josh Allen, they're at the top. Then you got Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott with 323, Caleb Williams 308, Bo Nix 305, Jalen Hurts 305, and Herbert at 300, with rounding out the top 10 with Patrick Mahomes. RIP. 297 points.
Yeah.
I hurt myself today.
Yeah. But Dak did exactly what I thought he was going to do this season. So congratulations to anyone who drafted Dak Prescott in a solid 10th round. He's not. We'll get into superlatives, but he's not a sleeper. That's kind of where he's projected and where that is.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man.
But shout out to Mr. Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this season he would show progress. I didn't think he'd take a leap of faith that he did this year.
And Ryan says Atlanta has no chance.
Oh, I thought they did. Okay.
Yep.
My bad. I thought they did.
Yeah. If they do have a chance, it's a snowball's chance.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams, really towards the end of the season looked great.
Yeah.
There's still some flashes of, some of that immaturity as far as the turnovers, but also look at Jared Goff. That might just be a NFC North thing or something, but
it's too soon for GIF. It's too soon for GIF.
Mm-hmm. Too soon for GIF or GIRF?
Both. Both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 turnovers the last game. Not good.
That's bad. That was bad. Yeah. But for Caleb Williams, on the season, really 2, maybe 3 bust games. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 20-point games, and then a 38.7 against Cincinnati. And so, on average, it looks like about 15 to 20 points. Not too shabby for a quarterback, and honestly, definitely worthy of getting drafted for sure next year. And are you looking at any stack with that team? You're looking for DJ Moore stack or
Roma Dunze?
Looking at Roma Dunze? Yeah, I think he'll take a step up after being on the sidelines.
Well, he's
fanning himself. Yeah,
but now that you can just tell the progression of the Chicago Bears, where they look like they were just the same old Bears at the beginning of the season. And then just rep after rep and time, and Ben Johnson understanding his first time head coach. He got his feet under him. Everybody started to understand. Caleb, you could tell starting him, and then winning cures all, but it also builds the confidence that, hey, we can do this, and starts making a team that can believe is like a Ted Lasso speech, but a team that can believe is very tough to beat. And they're very much believing right now. And even after the San Francisco game, who shout out to Brock Purdy, but
man,
the Bears. But I would bank I told my family. I told my family who are all Green Bay fans. I said the bad news is the good news is the Bears lost to the Packers, at least the first game.
Mm-hmm.
The bad news is they don't suck anymore. And with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, you should expect them to still be good until that unless dysfunction happens, which can happen. Look at kind of like the Ravens, even though Ravens might just end up making the playoffs. But everything's supposed to work out, and sometimes just dysfunction and stuff happens within an organization. But as of right now, they're ahead of schedule. We weren't expecting the Bears to be as good as they are. We weren't expecting Caleb Williams to be a top 10 quarterback on the season.
Yeah. If they would have been a wild card, would have been okay, I can kind of see that, congrats to him. But to be in contention for the number 1 seed, I know the Seahawks have it right now, but for the Bears being number 1 in the North, and I believe there might be a little bit of a swing possibility there, but they had it for a little bit. And regardless, they're going to be in the dance. And that's huge, especially for the last 6 weeks. They've scored over 22 points. And really 3 of those have been over 30, with this, last one being 38, and just an absolute shootout with the 49ers. And there's a lot of hope there. And, we'll kind of see what that looks like as far as their offseason. I do believe they are one of the people that are in cap hell, just like the Chiefs are. So that might not be the best situation, but yeah, love Caleb Williams. But also, man, I love guys that run the ball, and these backs, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, not Josh, but Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Jahmyr Gibbs, but also you throw in Achane.
Teflon Don.
323 on the year. James Cook, 301. Derrick Henry saving his season with his last game, really. 267, edging him above Chase Brown, who's been fairly consistent this last half of the season, and Kyron Williams, and then Travis Etienne, rounding out the top 10 for running backs on the season with 249 points. But man, for running backs, I mean, who's really kind of standing out to you? Who are we missing? Maybe due to injury, but who are we really missing that is out of the top 10, but is definitely worthy of, kind of being that top 10 draft pick next year?
Well, we'll see how Ashton Genty's offseason goes.
Yeah.
Because who the hell thought he would do that against the Texans? Dude had over 200 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. Against the number 1 defense, by far the number 1 defense, the best defense in football. And he did that on the road. Like this is why it frustrates me about the Raiders, because you see what Genty can do, and they just don't give him the ball.
Yeah.
Or they don't block for him, or they don't run any it just frustrates me because I see the talent and they don't utilize the talent.
No, I'll let you rant. I'll be right back.
And then Travion Henderson, they don't give him the ball. But I mean, Devon Achane on the season has been ridiculous because he's quietly done this as being the top 5 running back on the season. Like, people are like, CMC and Bijan and Gibbs, like, they jump off the stat sheet. Jonathan Taylor, they jump off the stat sheet. Devon Achane just went out there on a lousy team that sucks. And he still went out there and just did the thing. He was a late first round to early second round draft pick. Ends up being a top 5 running back on the season. So it paid off for you. James Cook, it turns out that Josh Allen doesn't take all the goal line stuff, but James Cook has to score from 30 yards out in order to do that. But Josh Jacobs is always solid. He had a little bit of knee issues, or else he probably would have cracked the top 10 as well. But yeah. And Travis Etienne kind of had a silent, great year as well. But yeah, Vegas. Oh, sorry. Vegas needs a lot this offseason. For one thing, Chip Kelly is offensive coordinator, and Pete Carroll is a run first. And I knew that was not going to work. I would be surprised if it did. It did not. Anyone, and I'm agreeing with Giff and Ryan there that the AFC is wide open, and I thought that the Rams were still the best team in the NFC, but then they decided to not know how to play football. Sam Darnold can turn into a pumpkin at any point, so that's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the 49ers can score on anyone, but they can't stop anyone. Now, granted, Salah was doing the best he can with that makeshift defense, but yeah, Cook had a really good year. Cook had a really, really good year for that. So, but that's what I got for the running backs in the chat.
Yeah. No, man. And I was listening. I was totally here the whole time. I wasn't cleaning up a mess. Don't worry about it. For me, man, Chase Brown, like, that was such a great pickup midseason, or, kind of earlier in the season. Didn't, do a terrible amount to, the 13 points week 1, then 8, 6, 10, 11, 8. So it just kind of looked middling, and not a lot of people was really having a whole lot of faith in him. And, but yeah, I mean, it was one of those deals where he was drafted, dropped, and then, picked up by someone. And I know I picked him up on our waiver wires in the ESPN league. And, after, from week 8, 25, 19, 18, 15, 18, 18, 16, 32, and then 29.10. Coming through for you as a great flex in your championship kind of time. So I just want to give him a shout out for sure. ETN and the Jaguars. I'm excited to see what happens this playoff season period. But just kind of for the fantasy relevance of some of these players, because the Jags might be poised to kind of make a pretty deep run, depending on what that seeding looks like and how fast they have to, kind of butt heads with the Broncos. But man, some hot and cold days or, kind of weeks, but he's had, a couple of 30-point games, 20, and just kind of showed flashes, but I think injuries really hurt a lot of people. One of the people I don't think that's not in the top 10, but I feel like they should, if they would have been able to keep their pace, because they were in the top 10 for quite a while after their injury. But it's the juggernaut himself. James Scott.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was glad you brought him up because
I already poured one out for him.
Okay. Yeah. Plus, he's just a great personality for football anyway. So,
maybe not the best role model.
No, he's not the best role model. I'm just talking about as far as he must watch TV. It's a car wreck every time, like literally on the field and off the field.
The whole Giants team, man. They still, even though they, what was it, they playing the Raiders this week, whatever.
Yeah.
They still just, pretty exciting. So you got to have quite a bit of confidence or, kind of hope for the next year there with the Giants.
I would sit there and say Cam Scadaboo is going to be a top, 10 running back pick, like a second round pick, but all of his ankles gone. So what do you, how it took Dak Prescott. He's finally healthy, really and truly. Because he still has some lingering stuff with that when his ankle went sideways and his leg stood straight. It's kind of the same thing with Cam. And he's a running back who cuts. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Now, obviously, he's kind of more of a north and south bruising type of running back, but the dude has an east and west. At least he showed that quickness and that lateral quickness that you weren't expecting. So we'll see. But yes, the juggernaut was on pace to bowl over some people.
And it puts a lot of power into that. It was, kind of akin to Pacheco, just like how hard, they ran. But, said it over and over. Pacheco's going to get injured, and he did, and he has not been the same since.
Yeah.
So, will that be Scadabo? Who knows?
Who knows?
Probably not. Hopefully not. I hope Pacheco's not even Pacheco next year. I hope he's, maybe a better version of himself. But I don't know. Did we get to the offensive line for Vegas?
Yeah, I talked about it.
There we go. Brown's great after the quarterback trade. Didn't see that coming. Then Burrow coming back also helped. Yeah.
Yeah, he needed a Joe. I don't care if it's Flacco or
something about Flacco.
But and then obviously Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. Come on, it's Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
It's after Joe Burrow.
Yeah, fantasy gold. And pretty good gold for targeting their defense as well. And some of these wide receivers definitely did that, bud. We're talking about Puka Nacua, 349 points on the season. JSN right there, 346. Amon-Ra St. Brown was out of the top, 10 for overall, but 299 fantasy points for you. Jamar Chase, 290. George Pickens, 290. I don't think he's going to be in some of the lists later, but he might be an influencer on maybe one of the duds. Chris Olave, 269, man. Your boy Shuck, right? Let's give it up. Shuck, yeah, dude. Shuck, yeah.
Shuck, yeah.
Let's go.
Shuck figured out, if I just throw it in this guy's vicinity, he'll catch it.
Dude, right? If I don't give him a hospital ball.
Right. No, Tyler Shuck's playing incredible football right now.
Yeah. Yeah, really is. Excited for the guy. The kid, old man, I don't know.
He's 26 years old, about to be 27 as a rookie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
It's great. But we also got Phillips Rivers back in the mix. So it's just been a weird season. Nico Collins, 226 points. It was good.
It's a love-hate relationship with Nico Collins, and it's not Nico Collins.
Could have showed up in the playoffs. All right. I'm talking to him and Stroud. I didn't need much from them. I literally, like, in each of the games, just needed 5 more points between the two of them. And they couldn't even do that. That was very disappointing of the ending, but he did an incredible job on the season, getting people there. And then Devontae Adams, oof, man, before that injury, that resurgence was incredible. And I mean, and really maybe Stafford was really relying on that because, so kind of since the injury of Devontae Adams, they kind of been up and down, but that's also probably to the Rams defense as well. A.J. Brown, complain enough, you're going to get 220 fantasy points on the year.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the surprises, not because he's a bad player, but just because their offense kind of seemed a little bit inept at times throughout the season. Denver Broncos, Cortland Sutton, wide receiver, number 10 on the season, man. How do you like those?
I think Troy Franklin ended up being like a top 15 receiver on the season too. Right. So, or like right around the top 20. I didn't count, but I just saw
maybe like 22, 28, number 28.
Okay, my bad. But still, I mean, Troy Franklin was a great pickup. Troy Franklin was a great pickup. I was not expecting him to be as consistent as he was, much less Wan'Dale Robinson, but that's because Malik Neighbors was out. He was doing this with Cortland Sutton still in the starting lineup the whole time. And Bo Nix looked like we didn't know what Bo Nix we were getting week in, week out, or what quarter he's going to show up.
Yeah. Oftentimes the fourth.
Yeah, oftentimes the fourth. But George Pickens, we'll get to him later. But I'll just say his name.
Yeah.
George Pickens.
Definitely a big impact on your Cowboys in positive ways, maybe to some negative. But man, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he is one of those guys that
him and JSN are just consistent.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but I mean, he wasn't consistent in the playoffs.
No, he wasn't.
He literally goes from like his best game on the season, scoring 41.4 points, to 9.4, like one of his worst on the season. 3 weeks before that, 0. Goose egg.
He got hurt like the second series.
I know, doesn't matter. Still get something. Fuck.
He got hurt the second series. What are you supposed to? I was just glad he came back.
I'm glad he did on the season, but oh my God, I needed him so bad that week. I needed him so bad. And then to see that notification, I was like, yep, fuck this. Threw everything over. I'm out.
Right.
But I mean, and then a 6-point game. And then start off the year with 8 points. So, I mean, a few busts, to me, is the very crucial ones in the playoffs. Because, that was one that kind of didn't help some people trying to get into the championship. But 299 on the year, still incredible. But it's just that Detroit Lions offense. I mean, not to kind of get, too deep in ball, but I mean, you got Tesla who got the touchdown this last week. You got Goff throwing 5 interceptions. I mean, that depletion or just that cave in of a team there at the end of the season. What does that leave for them next year? I mean, are you still going to be picking up Amon-Ra St. Brown first, round, or even second?
I was
Goff. Do you trust him? Is he going to be gone? Are they going to get somebody else?
I was skeptical about Amon-Ra coming in the season because of they lost Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You see what the Bears are doing. Like Ben Johnson is the truth. At least so far, he's telling the truth, not the truth. He hadn't lied yet. And so I was skeptical coming in because I'm like, he lost that. I don't know how this offense. And then first week of the season, they go to the Green Bay and act like they don't know how to play. So you're like, okay, but it's week 1, long season. Then he started to play consistent. So the player will outduel the ineptitude of a situation. A la Devon Achane. I think that's going to happen. Look at what Garrett Wilson was doing with the Jets before he got hurt.
So are you calling him Teflon Raw, St. Brown?
That's a good one. We can go with that.
Yeah.
And he was right there at the CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra played all season except for that one game that he got hurt. And CeeDee was still ended up like wide receiver 17, but he was hurt like 5 weeks out of the season. Mm-hmm. But you were taking CeeDee Lamb right around where Amon-Ra was going. So Amon-Ra still lived up to the billing. So I'm not worried about Amon-Ra unless the organization tells me differently, but the player doesn't.
Yeah. What offseason moves would concern you? If they lost Goff, would you feel worse or better?
It depends on who they replace him with.
Yeah.
I'm looking towards how's that offensive line going to do? And plus, are they going to hyper focus more on Gibbs? Because Gibbs is more and more the offense. He's becoming the Christian McCaffrey of that offense. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like they're making the playoffs. They have a shot, but I don't think they're making the playoffs. So they're going to have to retool some things, and I just hope they don't overthink it. But to long form answering your question, I am not worried about Amon-Ra at this point for next season.
No, I like it, man. And I don't want to be either, because I definitely appreciated him having him on a couple of my teams this year. The Lions do go on to face the Bears this Sunday. So definitely watching for the playoff implications as far as the NFL. Again, hopefully your season is done. Hopefully you won. I think here in a little bit, here soon, we'll be meeting our new champion. But we will save we won't bury the lead on that one. Yeah. But Gift did want to talk about Breece Hall, Jets running back. Yep, I'm with you there. He should have went to the Chiefs.
Should have went to the Chiefs. Like, we should have gave up a third round pick for him. Would that put us in even more cap hell? Possibly, but I also think we could have made a push with him that would have saved Mahomes probably from that injury, from having to do too much. It also could have maybe helped that line who was struggling and trying to do more pass coverage than really kind of run, scheming or blocking, because we didn't have a running back. We had Kareem Hunt. He's awesome. Love him. But we just didn't have that back that really demands that attention. And Breece Hall did at times, but for your fantasy teams, definitely did not. He is outside the top 10. That's another guy I kind of want to talk to you about, as well. Rico Dowdle, but maybe we'll talk about him later on. We'll talk about him later.
But Breece Hall, 208 points on the season. It was just hot and cold. Just going to run it down. 16 points, then 5, 9, 16, 17, 5, 7, 32. Then the bye week. And you're like, okay, cool. He's back. We're back. Well, then you have quite a bit of changes, I believe. There with the trade deadline, to the offensive line or defensive line. Sorry. Was it Quentin Johnson? Is that his name that went to you guys for Dallas?
Quentin
Johnson.
And Quentin Williams.
Quentin Williams. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to get there too, because I was thinking of Quentin Johnston from the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers. I know, that was in my head. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but hopefully you'll be cool. Then when he comes back from the bye, 19-8, 13-15, 4, 5, 8, and then 20.9 this last week. Of course, a good portion of that is from that 6-yard touchdown run. Absolutely insane. Just going ham on that. And honestly, I feel like that was kind of one of those moments where it's just like, I don't want to be here next year. I'm going to try to get a contract elsewhere. Let's start showing out a little bit. Let's start putting forth that effort that I wish you would have done earlier, or, hey, it's garbage time. We're down, 40, whatever to, 20. Hey, why don't we go ahead and do this? But what are your thoughts on Breece Hall? I love him. I wish I loved him more in fantasy football, but I hope he finds a new home.
Breece Hall was the gamble that people were taking. Like, he was like a third. You probably draft him like the third, fourth round. He finished running back 17. So he still finished where you drafted him in all hindsight. Now, granted, it was a lot of, 32 20s and then 4 4 5 5 6. Like, you just had to deal with that. But he was still drafted as a running back too, unless you did 0 RB. In that situation. So when you looking at it from a 40,000 foot, angle, he looked like he sucked. But in hindsight, if you really break it down where he was drafted, he didn't bust at all. He did exactly what you thought. I just know he's a better player. Yeah. And the organization sucks dick. And not to thanks, Ryan. We might not bring you on. Twitch might bring you on if you keep bringing this up. about the trade
Yeah.
because it still
Hey.
hurts him.
Hey, he's a Chiefs fan too. Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
I always forget that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know you don't want to, think that, we have numbers, but yeah, we do, bud. Yeah. You're not America's team anymore, pal.
Don't worry. Our owner loves trading players.
Yeah. No, he really does. And I mean, the Jets trade was pretty good, but yeah, him scoring 30 points. Fantasy wise, having that good of a day before the bye week, did that affect the trade? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just wish the Chiefs would have just pulled the trigger and give the third. I think we would be way better off for it. But anyways, anything else on Breece Hall or, jump back to wide receivers? Anything else on wide receivers? And why Ibuka is out of the top 10 because of injury?
We'll get to Ibuka in a minute.
All right. I like it. Running through the tight ends real quick. I mean, you got to talk about Trey McBride. The dude.
We will talk about Trey McBride.
Oh, yeah. But it was the dude scoring 302 fantasy points. Hello there, sir. I mean, it's unheard of. I mean, I know, Bowser, had a pretty good year last year. Unfortunately, due to injury, even though he's still top 10, he was not able to get his 262 points that he did last year. But McBride getting 302. Kyle Pitts, number 2. Okay. Yes, sir, Bowser. All right. I'll put some respect on that name.
You said his name. I have
to. Pitts getting 199. Kyle Pitts being the number 2 tight end on the year. Okay. Travis Kelce.
I'll give you 45. I'll give you 45 reasons why he's number 2.
Dude, seriously. Travis Kelce, 189 points, coming in third. Was that the last home game? Well, who knows? We'll find out. But Jake Ferguson, unfortunately, got injured there towards the end. But he had some incredible games, getting you 187 points on the year. Harold Fannin, rookie sensation, tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we thought Tyler Warren was going to be the one. We thought maybe Loveland, even maybe Gadsden. But no, the top rookie tight end on the season is Harold Fannin. And, getting you 186 points. Right behind him, I'll finish out the top 10. We'll jump back. Goddard getting 185. Warren, 181. Bowser getting 176. Jawan Johnson getting 173. And then Hunter Henry rounding out the top 10 there for the Patriots, getting you 168 points on the season. What you got?
Okay.
Sorry.
Nice swan song for Travis Kelce. That's just my thought. Swan song. And you can tell because he did a lot better this season. Now, granted, it might be because of just how the offense was, and you can go through many reasons why. To me, if you looked at his production the past 2 seasons, this lets you know he was laying it all out there for this season.
Yeah.
So just my thought on that. So well done on that. Kyle Pitts. I don't think this is he's here to stay.
Right.
I still haven't seen. He had that one good game.
Yep.
And he was fine the rest of the season. Don't get me wrong. It's the story here is Trey McBride, and how now. Granted, he got game scripted into being the guy because they just had to throw the ball the whole time because they're on like their 7th string. They were bringing people off the street to play running back for them, and they were always down anyway. So they were just throwing the ball. Like people were putting prop bets on that Brissett was going to throw the ball at least 40 times a game, and they were hitting it left and right. So they were throwing the ball a lot. But Trey McBride, he's the outlier of what I say about tight ends and drafting them too early, because you drafted McBride, Bowers, and Kittle. Now, granted, Bowers and Kittle, when they were healthy, were good, especially Kittle. Bowers wasn't because he played for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay. But the talent's there. So yes, the talent for those two were fine, but Trey McBride was never injured and he was amazing. He outscored Kyle Pitts by 102 points on the season. So Trey McBride is the outlier of me always saying, don't spend that much draft capital on a tight end because you hit 1 out of 3, which depending on the mathematician he talked to, it works. But chances are that tight end is not going to hit when you're drafting them that high. But Trey McBride proved me wrong, at least for that one player.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, getting 302 on this season, last season, 249.
Yeah,
with no touchdowns, pretty much.
This, unfortunately, I just didn't look at it until, shout out to the fantasy footballers. I think it was Andy that was the first one, was like, because they're obviously Arizona homers, so they're going to focus on Arizona a little bit more. Yeah. But I was remember listening to one show, and I think after week 1 or 2, he was just like, I just want to point this out. Trey McBride. I'm like, who? This was 2 seasons ago. He was like, Trey McBride.
Yeah.
This 2 seasons ago. He's like, Trey McBride, 11 targets. If I'm looking for a tight end, I'm hunting targets. If he's getting 11 targets, last game, 9 targets, I'm going after that tight end. I'm putting him on my team. And he was kind of consistent with that, at least the targets, all of 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, that's the guy that I'm going to draft in that Tyler Warren, Tucker Kraft place this year. And unfortunately, Tucker Kraft was living up to the billing. We get that. Unfortunately, he got hurt. But Trey McBride won you a lot of leagues last year, and he probably helped you win a lot of leagues this year, depending on how you drafted. But you were spending a lot of capital on him.
Yeah,
but it's ridiculous.
And from his rookie year, 61 points. And then his sophomore year, 23. That was 3 years ago. 181. Then last year was that big leap where we really saw a lot of that proof in the pudding. Especially with him only getting 2 touchdowns on the season.
2 catching touchdowns. I think he had like a couple of rushing touchdowns because he recovered the ball in the end zone in the game.
For some reason on the summary it doesn't show that on the annual, but yeah, and those two receiving touchdowns were like the last game.
Yeah, it was the last game.
Yeah, we were literally like on watch of for Trey McBride touchdowns this year, getting 11. On the season as far as receptions, touchdowns. But I mean, you look at the targets, 161 compared to 147 last year. So a little bit of a bump up, but that's also, because you have so many injuries to that team. They're at the running back and the wide receiver positions. Then you had injuries there at the quarterback position as well. But yeah, I mean, he's a staple. Obviously you wouldn't take him 101.
No.
What's the highest you would take him? 106, 7?
I wouldn't take him in the first round. I've learned my lesson on taking tight ends in the first round. If he goes off again, all right, fine. I'll live with that.
Yeah.
But it's the gamble of it. I know it's Trey McBride. Okay. And he's just gotten better and better the past couple, this year and last year.
Yeah.
We see that. But there's going to be a lot of turnover in Arizona. Like you're kind of going back to the Amon-Ra situation you were kind of bringing up. There's going to be a lot of turnover in Arizona. They might not even have the coach next year. So what are we going to get? We know that, Ryan. We'll bring you on. You can go about it later.
Yeah.
No, great. Yes.
We know. Congratulations.
No, Trey McBride was I had Trey McBride on my Super Bowl team last year. Like it was nice. It was nice. It's nice having Trey McBride. But yeah, it's hard for me to take a tight end in the first 3 rounds. It's just will be tough for me to do.
Yeah.
Trey McBride probably because I still will put value with Trey McBride, and if in a non-tight end league, I was helping somebody draft this year, and it got to like the 6th round or so, and they were looking at wide receivers, running backs, and then I was like, I went to the tight ends, and I was like, draft Trey McBride. And they're like, but he's a tight end. Again, not a tight end league. So basically, Trey McBride is your wide receiver. And I said, but he's the number 1 receiver for Arizona. So, and then Trey McBride ended up being like a top 10. Almost like a top 10 receiver as it was on the season. If you compare him to the other wide receivers, like he might like top 15, top 10. So, he was amazing. But I still would not. It's just how I am. If you want to draft, obviously we'll bring on Ryan. He's like, I want to lock in my tight end. I have to think about him.
Yep.
I understand that. And trust me, I've done.
He actually drafted 2 tight ends.
Yeah. But
this could help me out with my 2 quarterback dilemma. But
But you look at it like you were probably drafting high for Sam Laporta, and he got hurt. I understand that, but still, the production for a tight end doesn't weigh unless it's a Trey McBride or a Brock Bowers from last year. It's tough to hit that, and it's a lot of risk. Trey McBride might be worth it.
And we're also kind of in this season of rookie sensations where the rookies really stand out. And then there's that sophomore slump that has been very prevalent with quarterbacks and honestly pretty prevalent with tight ends as well. So that, that might be a wild card, for the next one, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm with you kind of, tight ends overall. Definitely I see value in them because there's only one tight end spot you can fill. And, but at the same time, we saw how many injuries there was this year for all positions, and you're going to have to adjust anyways. And so, yeah, I mean, tight ends are a little bit easier to adjust on because, they're just kind of middling, and then you got, your top 2 or 3, but is the juice worth the squeeze? You let us know. But for some people, it definitely was, and those people did win. But also, GIF, before we move on from tight ends, he says, I say one more year, talking about Travis Kelce. I wouldn't be surprised at one more year. But yeah, I mean, just the cap situation, there might be a little bit of pressure from organization, maybe for him to retire, plus all the personal stuff on the side. But his brother was kind of, talking about retiring, 2 years before he actually did. So, that 1 year might be kind of in the Kelce name. They're really thinking about retiring, but that's not when they retire. It's the year after. But we shall find out. Anything else with tight ends before we go to your favorite position, kickers?
No.
Yeah, and just to run through the kickers. Yeah, Myers, baby. Seattle, Jason Myers, 189 fantasy points on the year, right? So now we talked about, some of these, tight ends that were getting 200 points. What about the kicker getting about as much as the tight end? Because right behind him, Brandon Aubrey with 177. Then Fairbairn, 164. Dicker, the kicker, rough game this week.
Fairbairn.
Getting 163. Reichard, Will Reichard with the Minnesota Vikings getting 146. Cam Little, the new sensation, record holder for the longest kick in NFL history, getting 144. And Chase McLaughlin there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 139. Boswell, 136. Borregalis with the New England Patriots, rookie, getting 133 points. And then rounding out the top 10 was McPherson with the Cincinnati Bungles, getting 132. I mean, it's kickers, but I mean that Myers, Aubrey, Fairbairn, Dicker. I mean, that's some significant points, for your team. That's if you had them and if you played them every week, right?
If you want to take Brandon Aubrey in the 9th round, by all means, go ahead. I take a kicker and a defense the last 2 rounds of my leagues all the time. I'm not a. And then if you watch our show, you know how I feel about kickers. I picked up Chris Boswell or Chase McLaughlin, and I said it and forgot it. And guess what? Yes, Brandon Aubrey had more points, but I'm not wasting value on that. And I'd love to have Brandon Aubrey in every one of my leagues. Everyone would love to have Brandon Aubrey in every one of their leagues because as soon as Dak Prescott puts that ball across the 50-yard line into the opposing team's territory, Brandon Aubrey typically is good from there. So we understand his value, but I'm not spending a 10th round pick, even a 10th round. I know you're throwing darts, but
what about 8th round? Because that happened in our league this year. Brandon Aubrey.
Congratulations. Did Ryan draft him? Did Giff draft him?
No.
Then what are we talking about?
Yep.
Did you draft him? I'm just going through the teams in the Final Four. Did you draft them?
Top teams? No. What I did was I picked up Jason Myers off the waiver wire.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Why waste? Why throw? Yeah. Why just? I don't.
Yeah. Big question for me. All right. I mean, not to spend too much time with kickers, but Myers, is he in that category now? Of Aubrey, Dick the kicker. Boswell. Kind of these top ones that whenever you are drafting, one of the 12 kickers. Right. We just say, the very last one, is Myers kind of at the top of the list with how he finished the season and how the Seahawks are doing offensively or.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to choose between a defense and a kicker on the last of either if let's just say the draft is like 15 rounds. If it's a 14th round and I don't see a good defense and Jason Myers is there, then I'm taking him. But I'm not looking at kickers until the 14th and 15th round.
No,
just not. So yes, but Jason Myers would be part of that conversation. Sure, I'm just not. I wish I could give you a better answer than that.
No. That's the answer was one.
Yeah.
And you talked about the defense. I mean, you can't talk about the Seattle kicker. I'm talking about the Seattle defense getting 174 points on the season. I believe some guy has him named Mabry. Huh. Okay. Yep. Drafted them 15th round. But 174 points. Houston Texans 161. Philadelphia Eagles, as boring as they are, still relevant. 142. Minnesota Vikings 141. Pittsburgh Steelers. Oof, that was a rough ride with them. The Gabe Davis's defenses getting 140. Jacksonville Jaguars getting 140. The Los Angeles Rams 135. Broncos, as historic of a defense as they have, did not produce as much points as you would want. Looking at you, Benito. We needed a lot more interceptions like we did last year from you. Cleveland Browns 124, and then New Orleans Saints rounding out the top 10 for defenses on the year. Anything on defenses, man?
Congratulations to the Houston Texans. What they've been doing this year has been fun to watch. And people really don't like watching defensive stalemates, but what they do is really fun to watch. Also, shout out to Myles Garrett. I hope you break the record in the final week of the season. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns for at least being consistent on one side of the ball. So you did something. There's something to grow on there, but you're still the Cleveland Browns. Shout out to that guy that makes the TikToks where he goes, and we're the Cleveland Browns. If you know it, you know it. But yeah, Seattle, I'd pick them up late. But they're scoring. You chase points at that point. But again, I couldn't tell you who I drafted in the draft. And I mean, like I said, I'm best ball, but also in a league where we don't draft kickers and defenses because I don't focus it on them. So
this league we do. We draft.
I know.
Okay.
I know. For best ball, I want to go over my wins.
Okay, specifically baseball.
Like Jordan Belfort. I don't talk about my losses because I don't have any. No, I do. But when it comes to defenses, same thing. You pick a defense and a kicker at the start of the season, and then you chase matchups.
Yeah.
And then, or if you see that defense emerging as something that's doing really well, or at least consistency, Seattle and Houston. Houston, we finally realized what they were really late, like that Buffalo Bills game where they sacked Josh Allen 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
That was when we're like, oh, yeah, they're different. And it was kind of late in the season. But Seattle's been consistent all season long. And the team that surprised me, how good they looked but didn't score was the Green Bay Packers. They only had like 80 points on the season. Now, granted, Micah Parsons going out, but still, the Green Bay Packers, they were still a solid defense when Micah was playing. And they only had 80 points on the season, which is kind of odd. But it's kickers and defenses. Shout out to them. They exist. And the way, and you typically would chase special teams plays, but the way the kickoff rules are, you really don't have a lot of returners.
Yep. And you get little flashes.
You do.
Like the Patriots have had quite a bit of quick returns. And so it's made it exciting. But then a lot of times the defenses, you're seeing their best game before you pick them up.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have those, Devin Hester isn't walking. You don't have the Devin Hesters, the Deshaun Jacksons, Devon X for Hall. I forgot his first name. It's Deontay.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't want to. You knew where I was going. But we don't have Deontay Hall. We don't have Dexter. We don't have Dexter. We don't have Dexter McCluster. Yeah. I can't believe I can remember that many good returners, but we don't have those anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
we haven't seen them shown. Doesn't mean we won't have them. But kind of the point I was making is that, with it, it's flashes in the pan. And I know for some of them, it was like I was just constantly fighting FOMO with defenses, right? Just kind of, you see them have a great game, getting, 25, points. And it's just like, ooh, I can get that out of the defense. Okay. Then you get them and then they do shit for 2 weeks. Then you drop them and then they go off. And, that wasn't the Steelers. I mean, it was, so many other defenses They just have really low floors, negative floors. Honestly, that almost cost me. It actually got me into the side bet, but after the Thursday night football game a couple weeks ago, it was the ESPN Championship League. It does the 2 weeks, right? Kind of culmination of the points. And yeah, it was just one of those deals where he had Makua and I had the Seattle kicker and defense, and I had -2 points and he had like 40. And it was like, yeah, you want to do a little bet? And he's like, yeah, feeling great. And I'm probably not feeling too great right now. But yeah, it's kind of chasing the dragon sometimes with kickers and defenses. So just draft at your own risk, but really just be looking at the waiver wire. Because you're going to want the matchups. You're going to want, kind of the tough defensive battles where they're going to get close enough to the red zone, but they're not going to score. And RIP Dicker, because I think he lost his, rhyming Dicker to the kicker status this week. But anything else before we move on, bud?
No.
All right.
It's been a crazy whirlwind of a season.
Yeah, it really has. And it's been a great season. And I think it's one worth celebrating. Everybody. We don't have full graphics cards or anything like that. We just got this. Yeah, I'm showing that because that's the only one I was able to get done. Good Lord. My computer, it's been a lot of fun this week with my computer and system. But yes, now we are in the end of year awards. This is where we like to kind of give out our own little awards, kind of for the best, the worst, and sometimes the most ridiculous. And the ridiculous part we'll save kind of later. But Josh, jumping into the awards, man, how excited are you for this? Looking back at some of the previous years, or even just this year, were you more often right than you were wrong about who was actually going to kind of show up, or kind of who was going to be the bust that you were kind of worried about?
I was middle of the pack as far as like, I can make an excuse being like, I drafted Genty late in a lot of leagues. Like I had the late round pick. I drafted Genty late. Some would say he's a bust. In a sense, he kind of was. But then you look at his numbers, he wasn't and he was. But I don't look at Genty as a bust as a player. As a fantasy player, yes. Because I was wrong on the organization and how they were going to utilize him. So that in point, yes, hand up, I was wrong. But then again, I picked up, JSN and Amon-Ra in one of my leagues. And I picked up Devon Achane. And I was like, yeah, I know the risk, but I'm going to take him. Was never in a position to take Christian McCaffrey. Was never in a position to take Jameer. Like those top guys were getting ready to go over. But I also was pretty good about getting those late round guys that I knew could hit. Like the rookies, I was pretty good at hitting on the rookies. And then injuries came about. But yeah, I was really good. I just focused a lot on the rookies this year, and they kind of worked out. And the crazy part is that all the rookies that did show out this year, it looks like Tyler Shuck might win Rookie of the Year just because of how it all kind of works out in the NFL. But yeah, no, it should be interesting to see how much I felt like I was wrong as we go through these.
Yeah, no, I really like kind of your notion as far as like with the rookies, because I drafted young too in quite a bit of leagues, just kind of seeing a little bit of the changing of the guard. And yeah, man, some panned out and had, a couple of great games out the gate and then fizzled off. Others, it took a few weeks for them to warm up. But there was definitely some people that, okay. I was going to kind of maybe try to bring GIF on, but I think we lost connection already to him. But man, let's just jump into it. I know we are at an hour, and we appreciate you all watching at home. Hopefully you are enjoying the holiday season as well as the season end. And hopefully you guys are hoisting up some trophies, belts or rings. I guess that'll be your choice. This year, I know I am in one league. You are as well, Josh. But who else should be hoisting up a trophy? Let's just start with the easy one, MVP.
Well, I know this is going to be a surprise who won the MVP this year.
Do we want to build up to it or start off with it?
We'll build up to it. So we kind of rank these. Now, some of these superlatives, we might just straight up, this the person. We don't have any other people. But honorable mentions, Puka Nacua, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Trey McBride. In third place, we have Jonathan Taylor. In runner-up, we have Bijan Robinson. But your winner for the 2025 Fantasy F-Around MVP is, of course, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, what else we do?
Whoa. Shocker.
The guy was
shocked.
Yeah.
I feel shocked.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't remember I was
finding it. Yeah. I was trying to click on some other things, but yeah,
you're good. You're good. I was trying to find it myself. Yeah,
you can't say enough about Christian McCaffrey. So.
Man, yeah. I mean, goat status at this point. So far, knock on wood, particle wood. He hasn't been injured, and that's kind of what he was known for, is not really being able to complete a full season. But he completed a full fantasy season and, scoring people 405 points. I mean, we talked about, some of these special kickers getting, 170. We talked about wide receivers being in the top 10, getting 200 plus, but 405 points, man. Absolutely insane. And he didn't do it on like a bunch of big games, right? It wasn't like a Trey Tucker situation. Where you got one game that just really, kind of stands out, but keeps you in the kind of rankings. His lowest score the entire year was 19.75 points.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's dumb. Absolutely dumb. And you know how evenly spread it is, because that was his lowest. That was his floor. His ceiling, he did not score over 25.03 points. And that was really just one game, 25 points. Everything else was just right there in that 6-point window. And week in, week out, without a bust. And then, honestly, his mediocre games are booms for other people. And
his floor was ridiculous. Like it's
insane, man. Like margin of error.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Now, the opposite end of this spectrum is the players that you thought were going to be good, and they sucked. One I was right about, in a sense that I just didn't think he was going to redo what he did last year. Mm-hmm. Some said he was cursed. But some honorable mentions. It hurts me to say, but Lamar Jackson.
Bad for a running back.
He's been hurt all season, but even when he was playing, it still wasn't. Something was off about Lamar. I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
something was off about Lamar. And we're not bringing on GIF right now, because if he says anything bad about Lamar Jackson, I will clearly kick him.
Not bad for a running back.
No, sorry, that's GIF. He was hitting those buttons.
Sure he was. Yeah. Brian Thomas Jr. That's one that I was shocked.
Man,
that because it wasn't his. Like when I was saying, like, okay, Ashton Genty. Yes, he was a bust technically, but it was okay, and injuries or something like that. Brian Thomas Jr. just was a no-show.
Yeah, and his hands were broken. His hands were broken, man.
And the Jags won 12 games.
Yeah,
like Trevor Lawrence,
almost in spite of him.
Yeah, almost
kind of felt like.
And Travis Hunter's out for the season. Like you would think Brian Thomas would, with how great the Jags have been playing. I just don't get it. Like he's the anomaly of the whole thing.
Well, apparently the Jags knew something, because that's why they made that trade mid-season to get Jacoby Myers, which was
great trade.
Really one of the best trades this year.
Yeah,
definitely one of the most impactful in the short term right now for him.
The other honorable mention is we mentioned before. He ended up being wide receiver 17, but not the wide receiver we drafted him, which is CeeDee Lamb. But that's just because of injury and the emergence of George Pickens. And so you spread the ball around, you're not 100%. And also, he had the drops all damn season.
Yeah.
So on that,
not a great look. What does his contract look like for Dallas? Is he there? Is he locked in for 4 years? Or
he's locked in. They're not going to move CD, because when he's yes, he had the drops, but when he's healthy, he's still CeeDee Lamb. Like
no. I want him. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Just when is the guy available? Okay, great.
Yeah. But the runner up, which shocking in itself, is Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, damn.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
More than Justin Jefferson on that. So again, Brian Thomas is a lot more of a what the hell happened than a Justin Jefferson, where you can clearly see why it happened. But it was still, you can just tell he's frustrated, and I was be frustrated as a Justin Jefferson owner. But the biggest bust, and the one, some say he might be cursed, but Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Good God, was he terrible for being some 101s. He was a top 4 overall draft pick, and he finished running back 15 on the season, 14.
Yeah. I mean, he scored 232 points.
Yeah, I mean, he's still,
but yeah, compared to what he did last year and how high people were drafting him.
Yeah,
like you said, I mean, he went number 3 in our main league. But God bless it, man. There was a lot of people saying Madden curse, stay away from it, and Madden curse, to me, it's almost a fact now. More often than it's not.
mm-hmm.
And even if it's not an injury, it's a bad season like we had here. My look at this is, I'm trying to think of it much like with the Chiefs. You won the Super Bowl. You know what you got. You know you're going to get back somehow. And maybe they're just kind of keep a little bit of reserve tank for that playoff push when they really need him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, they still have a good offense, maybe not a good offense coordinator, but they still got a good offense and talent. And so maybe he'll make the bounce back. But I mean, for this year, woof. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, were you even playing him?
Well, that's the problem with why he's the biggest bust, is because you couldn't trade him because you had Saquon might figure it out because it's Saquon and the Eagles. Yep. And that just how they were. And so you had to start him every game, and you couldn't bench him, but you couldn't trade him because you had to just stick with what you got. And he just never, I mean, he was there a couple of times, but he never lived up to the value and where you drafted him.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year, getting people 355 points, right? We talked about McCaffrey's 405 being insane. 355 was right there, especially for the consistency that he had. This year, 232, so 120 points less. And even with kind of how the weeks looked, I mean, he had like a few busts, so it wasn't like he was completely out. But I mean, you were happy just to get 17, 15 points from him because he only had one 30-point game, and after that, he only had one 20-point game. Everything else was really in the tens.
Yeah,
and so. Not terrible, still produced, but I mean, you're picking him up for running back 1,
right?
The bell cow, the workhorse for your team, and at best, he was a flex.
Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations, Saquon. You unfortunately have won because Saquon's great
Yeah, it seems awesome as a person. And then the whole story, but then the Jets. Or the Giants. I mean, that's hilarious. Right. As long as he doesn't go to the Eagles. Boom.
Yeah. And he still has a job.
Yeah.
But
sleeping though on him.
I know. Speaking about sleepers.
Oh.
These were sleepers. Okay, so we'll get some of the guys that I'm bringing up were drafted consistently, but they were drafted late. And they produced very well for where you drafted them. So get ready to hear some tight ends. But I have the honorable mention. I have Jake Ferguson. Dude was consistent all season long. And the runner-up, which honestly, this is 1A, 1B to me. It's just because the runner-up got drafted a lot earlier in drafts, which is George Pickens. He was drafted right around the 6th round, 7th round, and was the wide receiver 5 on the year, I think, 4. But to me, the sleeper of the year, because you were basically throwing a dart, was Tyler Warren. Because you picked him up, you got so much value out of him. You didn't have to worry about streaming a tight end. You just set him and forget him. Yes, he had towards the end of the season, it wasn't that great, but injuries happen. But as far as how he was producing, to me, I think he was the sleeper of the year.
Yeah, I would agree with you, except I owned Tyler Warren, and at the end of the season, he was not great.
No,
he helped you in the middle, and was fantastic. But and I'm just contesting this on screen because I was able to provide my notes on some of these. But Chase Brown is my pick for sleeper. And
Chase Brown was.
Let me talk about this. All right, you ran your mouth about stupid fucking picks. No, I'm just kidding. But Chase Brown started the season 13 points, 8, 6, 10, 11, 8, 12. Not great, especially not whenever you're drafting him round 2. All right, and that's when a lot of people dropped him. Right, mid-October. But then from week 8. On 25 points, 19, 18, 15, 18, 18, 16, 32, 29. What the fuck did Tyler Warren get you guys this last 2 weeks? Was he in your starting lineup? Because he wasn't in mine. I think I dropped him 3 weeks ago. Because I had Kittle, and then he got injured, and I put in Tongues, who did better than Tyler Warren. And that's a quarterback issue because Daniel Jones got injured. Even before that, the Colts were just kind of having a lot of miscues with each other, and the writing was on the wall that they were fading away into irrelevance as far as for fantasy, but also for the playoffs. I mean, other than the other people that we talk. Well, yeah, we already mentioned Jonathan Taylor. He was one of the runner-up for MVP, but that's my contention. I would say Chase Brown. What say you?
So that being said, I guess congratulations, George Pickens. You were consistent all season. You were like a 7th round draft pick. The thing is with Chase Brown, you were picking him as like your number 1 running back, and being a top 10 running back. So he started the season slow, and people dropped him, unfortunately. But he still ended up being the value in which you drafted him.
I didn't draft him, but I picked him up off the waiver wires.
It goes to the people that you drafted late, and that end up showing out. Oh, like you threw a dart and it worked. Okay.
So these are people that you're saying you drafted and sat on.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sleepers of don't sleep on them because they could show out. Well, people slept on them and they still showed out. George Pickens was slept on. Tyler Warren was slept on. Chase Brown was picked as okay, he's going to be great.
I guess we just need better explanations of the awards then.
Okay. Well,
I'm still staying with Chase Brown.
No, yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you can. It's subjective. It's what's fun about it.
No, it's definitive.
Oh, okay. But moving on to the comeback player of the year, there's not really a list. He didn't play last season. Now he's number 1 player on the season, which is Chris McCaffrey. That's how you come back of not doing anything last year, is you become the number 1 fantasy player of the year. So
I would say I wish I had Barkley's the comeback player because you're like, no, come back.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, if you want to twist it that way. But yeah, I sat there and went through all the other players. I'm like, they were kind of exactly who we thought they were. Oh, wait, Christian McCaffrey. Because I went back to 2024 and I'm like, did they suck? And then Christian McCaffrey didn't play at all last year. So here we go. So I wish I had more other players that I can go over, but Christian McCaffrey was exactly what a comeback player of the year is. So
yeah, and there was other options or kind of not competitors. What's the word I'm saying? Anyways, there were other names that were there kind of early in the season, mid-season, but then just with these injuries, I mean, you can't call them a comeback player if they get injured, and some of these people, I mean, like Devontae Adams is one that's on my list.
Yeah,
that would have been there just if he played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can't be a comeback player and not be playing on your team during the playoffs.
Devontae was definitely terrible because he was on the Raiders and the Jets last year.
Yeah.
So, and then he was did he have a little bit left in the tank? Yeah, he did. Then he got hurt. So yes, he definitely is worth noting. But yeah, Congratulations, Chris McCaffrey. You won your second award from us.
A little bit of, he might be running away with this.
Yes, but but I will put my hand up. This is the award that I was wrong. And my hand up is about my favorite team. I was wrong on Javonte Williams. I did not want to touch any of the Cowboys running backs with a 10-foot pole. Javonte Williams showed some could say he was a comeback player of the year, but you have to arrive in order to come back, and he never arrived. He was not really that great. He was hurt, and he was not that great on Denver. He goes to Dallas, and I'm like, going into the season, I'm like, I don't see it. We're going to be throwing the ball a lot because I couldn't run the ball worth the damn the season before. Hand up, prove me wrong. Javonte Williams was solid all season. If he was on your team, and he could have been looked at as a sleeper as well in that sense. But I wanted to give some other players with that. But hand up, Javonte, I was wrong on you.
Yeah, I would say Trevor Lawrence is one. Undrafted. We'll maybe talk about him in some other awards, but just even whenever he was doing it, I was just thinking, oh, it's not going to last. It's the Jaguars, right? Come on, it's Duval, right? Something. They're showing some success, but it's not going to go into the playoffs. Well, it's going into the playoffs. And you could say this honestly, kind of to the same vein of the NFC. Caleb Williams. I had more faith in that system, with Ben Johnson at the quarterback or at head coach, working with Caleb Williams, the quarterback. But both of those situations, they turned it around, and even when it was happening and being, consistent, showing trends, it was just in the back of my mind, still just kind of disregarded. So, hand up. Sorry.
Yeah. I was kind of the same way with Trevor because he hasn't shown me anything.
Yeah. Hey, congrats. You finally got 2-3 weeks in a row. You did well your entire career.
Yeah. He's still he's the prince, as Nick Wright says. Oh yeah. It's just all right. Yeah. You're good. You're good. Congrats. All right. Our next award is the premature award, which means that you were great the first half of the season, and then you blew your wad. And I have two players. Runner up is Emeka Egbuka, because dude shot out of a cannon for like the first weeks, and then he tweaked his hamstring, and then Baker hurt his AC joint, and that was it. Like, he was just god awful for the rest of the season. But the winner of the premature shot out of a cannon, then what the hell happened? It's Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Because what the hell happened after that bye week? It's like the Chiefs took his soul.
Yeah.
And the Colts from when the Chiefs came back and beat them. So that's the two players that I have and Jonathan Taylor is my winner because he still ended up being like a top 5 running back on the season. But he did all that the first half. Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't like he had a terrible second half.
No,
it was just
terrible.
Before going into the bye, really just start with week 1, 12 points, right? Yeah. But then 29.5, 32.8, 14, 31.6, 23.7, 34, 37, then a floor game of 7 points, and then 49. Yeah. Almost scoring 50 fucking points. And then after the bye week, 8, 15, 11, 13, 16, and 17.
Yeah.
And basically, I just went to running back 2 flex status. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I had him in the ESPN league, and man, things were great until they weren't. And I don't know. Like I said, it was the Atlanta game before that bye, but after the bye week, they did play Kansas City in that losing affair. But yeah, maybe something got found out. Maybe there was a little bit of an aggravating injury that we don't really know of that, maybe he was just kind of playing through. Because at that point they were on top of the world. They were the number 1 seed, or kind of number 1 team in the NFL, if not or the AFC for sure, if not the NFL. And then it was just a downhill fall after that with Houston, Jacksonville, Seattle, San Francisco, now Jacksonville again. So, yeah, I like that one. Honorary mentions that I would have kind of for the late bloomer. I mean, I guess if you don't want to put him in as the not comeback, but the sleeper, then I guess Chase Brown would kind of would he fit
Chase
better
Brown.
in premature here? Okay. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely one that's in there.
He's more of a late bloomer, but still.
Yeah. Oh, these are the ones that started off hot. Nah, never
Yeah.
mind. My bad.
Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong one.
Yeah.
Wrong list.
But speaking about late
Speaking of
bloomers,
them.
we want to just go ahead and go through it. Chase
Yeah.
Brown, yes. Chase Brown would be up there. He'd probably be yours.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I was going through just kind of like going through. I got to give it to Trevor Lawrence. Give it to Trevor Lawrence. The dude started out QB 23, 12, 28, 28, 5, 13, 14, 12, 21, and then it goes 11, 7, 5, 3, 1, 2, 5. That's what you call a late bloomer. If I didn't explain it to it, it's when they were terrible in the first half of the season and great in the second. And you can't deny what Trevor Lawrence did in the second half of that season. If you picked up Trevor Lawrence, he won you championships.
Mm-hmm. God, man, can you imagine that Parker Washington stack?
I know,
You
right?
had
Well, I did.
I mean, this last week wasn't that crazy, but a week or two before, yeah.
When you draft Parker Washington in your best ball league and you don't know it,
Yeah.
that did
Hey, there we go.
took a
Or
swing
your
at it.
dynasty and we forgot that we did.
Yeah, I probably had him. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
We're
but
still
yeah.
learning. They're still learning dynasty on this channel. We're not perfect.
Oh man, no one's perfect. But some of these people, they did get the high score because they were at least perfect once, and the highest score. Josh, want to go and take that away?
Yes. He
I don't know
scored
if you got any additional notes. So
He has 55 on the day, which is Jahmyr Gibbs. He was the high scorer there. Now, shout out to Kyle Pitts, who had 45. Josh Allen, I think, had a 42 point way there. But Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously Jonathan Taylor had some nice ones. Brock Bowers had a really solid week as well.
don't forget Bo Nix in that fourth quarter comeback.
Yeah.
Also Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. Which I'll talk about Trey Tucker here in a second. Exactly that game. Because he did win an award, ladies and gentlemen. He did win an award with us. But yes, Jahmyr Gibbs with 55 points in one game. And if you had, and shout out to everyone who had Kyle Pitts on their roster, but did not start him. And that's how I won my playoff game by 1 point because he did not start Kyle Pitts. So thank you to that person who started. I believe it was, he started Isaiah Likely, who had 0 over Kyle Pitts, who had 45.
God bless, man. Isaiah Likely, incredible talent that just doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it with that guy. But also honorable mentions Jonathan Taylor with his 50 point, but also Devon Achane, 41 points that same week, just getting overshadowed, quite a bit. And Josh Allen also getting a 40 burger, getting 45 points.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean there were some really good weeks. But God, man, Gibbs 55,
Yeah,
week
0.2 or
12.
something. Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
What was that stat line?
He got 15 rushing attempts for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 11 receptions for 45 yards and 1 touchdown.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, just absolutely ruled that game. And that was even a close contested match with the Giants. 34-27 in that affair.
Yeah.
And it was week 12. So, yeah, Scatterboo was hurt. Oh, my God. That was the Jameis Winston game, dude.
Oh, that was the one where the James had that stiff arm.
Yeah.
He had a touchdown.
God, dude.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best plays of the season.
Freaking Jameis, man.
Jameis Winston, man. You're the dog. Because, I mean, that week he got 33. Robinson got 31. But, I mean, we just kind of see it. I mean, with the, Rams games, as well. And really just the NFC West almost entirely. Like, you like the games where it's strategic and it's good defense, right? Like you mentioned earlier. But God, for fantasy football, dude, those shootouts, oh my God, they're gold. And this week was one of them where you had 55, 37, 33, 31, 31, 30, 30. Prescott and Pickens right there, 30, 28 points. So week 12, phenomenal week. And congratulations to Jahmyr Gibbs for being our high score of the season.
Yeah, in 1 week. Our next award is for the waiver wonder. These are for the people that generally were not drafted on your waiver wire, and you're happy that you picked them up. Honorable mention. Some will probably fight me on this person next to me, but I did not have him winning it. But I have Rico Dowdle as a waiver wonder, as an honorable mention. But runner-up, I have Drake May, and I have my winner as a Mr. Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. That's where we differ.
Yeah, because you probably want Drake May over Matthew Stafford. But I just picked Matthew Stafford because
So how are these awards set up then? You just pick whatever you want?
Kind of, yeah.
This is bullshit. Then this is just the Josh May. This is your award show. It should be Drake May, you son of a bitch. You know it.
But I didn't have Drake May. I picked up Matthew Stafford.
That's what it is. It's who you have on your team.
If it wasn't for Drake May playing the Jets this last game of the season, Matthew Stafford would have been up there.
Yeah. Nah, that would holy crap, dude. I got so made. Yeah. And not the cool, mobster way of getting made. God damn it, dude. Yeah. Congrats, Jason. You got third. By like 2 points. This last 2 weeks, man, I've lost by a total of like 7 points combined.
But yeah,
I love the playoffs. But
waiver wise, we talked, ladies and gentlemen, full disclosure, we were literally going back and forth on these two guys.
Yeah.
It was literally 1A, 1B.
I was like, Drake deserves an award.
Yeah, because it looks like Matthew Stafford might end up winning MVP because he's been MVP for like 16 weeks. So I think he'll probably.
Well, he's not MVP enough to win a game.
No.
That's what MVPs do.
Yeah. But we'll see how it works.
Yep.
But yes.
But for fantasy, both of these guys absolutely incredible. Stafford is kind of like the waiver pickup, what you're getting, and he's never going to be drafted for some reason. Goff is kind of like is a lesser Stafford for sure, but Drake May, man, it could be a flash in the pan. Because maybe they're just catching lightning this year, and it might not be the same going forward. I don't know. I want that to happen because I do not want success or happy things for the people of New England or Patriot fans. But God, dude, it's been incredible to kind of see some of these no names, so to say, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Drake May, some of these people have been in the league for, a few years and just hasn't really arrived. And to see them kind of stepping up because Stafford, how many more years is he really going to have? How many years does he want to have? Is he going to go to 44 and, just pull a Phillip Rivers and come back and shot put the ball?
Not sure. But this is Drake. Speaking about sophomore slumps, this was a sophomore rise because this is his second year.
Yep.
I will put it to the fact that I don't know why they didn't hire Vrabel to begin with last year. Vrabel is my favorite. It stinks that he's the Patriots coach, but he is my favorite NFL coach. Yeah. Just how he was great with the Titans, and they basically forced him out because they were doing a bunch of stuff that he didn't like, butted heads with the GMs, took basically a year off, and then got hired by because when that whole thing was happening, I'm like, the Patriots need, because Belichick, you could tell, was done. I was like, what the Patriots need to do right now is just go get Vrabel. He's going to be perfect for them. He played for Belichick. It makes so much sense. And then he got Josh McDaniels as offensive coordinator, which he's probably one of the best offensive coordinators in the game of football. Don't have him as your head coach. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He makes a better quarterback coach than he does offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah. But you saw the intangible that Drake May had in college, but you didn't know exactly if he could put the pieces together, and he is. And but he's going to be without his star wide receiver for legal reasons. So we'll see how that works out. But
yeah,
he's
kind of to the variable of it, though. I mean, whenever they get rid of your top talents, AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, like you're just gutting the fucking team right in front of me. I mean, it's almost like as if he's like a Mavericks coach, right?
Yeah, he took Ryan Tannehill to an AFC championship game.
Yeah. But supposedly Belichick, had, appointed Jared Mayo and saying that this is the route we're going to go. That's per our, my agreement or, whatever it was. I'm not sure exactly what the truth is. There'd be a Mayo gate, kind of probably coming up as far as the documentary, but yeah, I mean, it would have been great if they got him sooner, for their dynasty to just kind of continue. It's kind of reign, but I think everybody enjoyed the breather without the Patriots. As a Chiefs fan, we're happy to fill in that void of hate.
As a Dallas fan, I hate everything because people still hate us and we haven't done shit in 30 years.
Oh, dude, it sucks, right? It's like punching down. It's like, why? I'm already short. Yeah.
Well, we can draft a revolutionary defensive player and trade him away in his prime. It's fine.
Yeah, but Drake May, your waiver wonder winner.
Sure. Matthew Stafford.
Just sneaking on you.
Also,
man.
Shout out Rico Dowdle. You helped a lot of people.
Oh my god, dude, Rico, baby, we love you, man. We love you.
Yeah.
God,
but
so great.
We're going to go to our two last awards, and then we'll bring on our special guest to give out some awards. And congratulations to them. I know they're sitting there hanging out in the background if they want to kind of be in the ready for when we bring
hand check, by the way, guys. Hand check. All right.
Yeah. But our couple awards here, we have hottest spot. So basically your hottest spot start. Goes to Trey Tucker.
Good Lord. Infamy, dude.
Yeah. This is the Sammy Watkins. Hey, dude, I'm a freaking ball out 1 week. And you're going to be pissed that you pick me up after that week, and I'm not going to do shit after that.
Yeah.
Even after they traded, just what the hell?
Yeah, and it really sucked because I saw him and thought to pick him up the week it did happen.
Right.
And it was just like, I don't know. I'd have to see a little bit of something. And then, boom, then goes off for 40 or 41, depending on your leagues. And yeah, that was where I was like, oh, how do I not pick him up now? Like I need a flex. I need spot starts. And this guy could be it. Maybe they have something cooking because it was early on, like week, 4 or 5? There with I'll get there real quick. But it's still early on the season. You're hoping that maybe the Raiders are getting something put together. There's Rico Daddle's 32-point game, baby. Yeah, week 3. 41 points. What fantasy position scored 35 points right behind him that week? Minnesota
Vikings.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I can't say player, but yeah, that's insane. But for Trey Tucker, that 40 points, it was incredible to see. Great performance for him, getting 1 rushing attempt for 4 yards, but really getting 9 targets.
Yeah,
catching 8 of those targets, going for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. Almost like a Randy Moss-esque kind of a statistic there. 3 for 3, but that lingered and really kind of ruined some people's weeks, because after that 4.2, then 11.10, 12 points, 8, 6, 5, 14, 5, 5, 4, 0, 9.4, 9.9 the last 2 weeks. And if you go just purely based upon total points, sometimes this is the anomaly that shows up.
Yep.
Where it's just a hot spot in that infrared. Everything else is cold. But God damn it, that white hot spot looks so good and tempting. And, sometimes you take the bait and it doesn't work out. Sometimes you just kind of, take the chance because you don't want to miss out, kind of FOMO as far as, fantasy FOMO. But man, it was one of those things that it was like, all right, after like 3-4 weeks, you're like, yeah, can we just get rid of him? Like, can his name stop showing up in lists?
Right.
Can people stop talking about him, on fantasy, podcasts? And so, congratulations, Trey, giving you your flowers, because this is probably the last time we'll talk about you on a fantasy football.
You never know, but probably. So congratulations, Trey. Congratulations.
Yeah. Still Raiders? Yeah. We're not going to talk about you ever again.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yeah. And our last award, which we kind of came up with at the last minute, but we thought it should be talked about.
Yeah.
Is the Vulture Award, which is basically your team got you there. All those guys like Jonathan Taylor and
Drake May, Matt Stafford,
like all those. And this guy goes, thanks for getting us here, guys. I'll take it from here. If you watch, this is a reference to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where everyone does all the work and then the Vulture comes in and takes all the credit. And the award goes to Derrick Henry because as soon as you made the playoffs and your team got you there, because Derrick Henry's been up and down all season, and then he goes, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." And the son of a bitch went off. So yes, could it be a late bloomer? No, because he's been consistent all season as far as Derrick Henry, but he wasn't like your star. And then he comes in and is like, "Oh, thank you for getting us here. I will take it from here."
Yeah, I mean, but he wasn't even consistent, as far as for himself.
No.
Because last year getting 336 points on the season, this year 266, so considerably less, but also just the way you did it. Started off with a flash, 29 points, then 2, 10, 7, 9, 14 before the bye. But then just kind of something happened after the bye where, I think Lamar got injured. And so, that's where they had a backup. So they're relying a little bit more on him. And maybe because of his age, he's 31 years old, but maybe they're just trying to reserve some of his tank for the playoff push.
Yes.
But after the bye, 19, 13, 11, 20, 22, 17, 11, 10, 22, and then 45.6 points in this week's affair. They're at Green Bay for your championship.
Right.
And hopefully after, that 22-point game, that maybe he was a flex for you. But if not, that might have been, the most points on the bench scored.
Yeah, for that. But that, excuse me, that is our awards. Congratulations to all the award winners. Congratulations to some of the award winners that are still debated till this day, mainly Drake May and Matthew Stafford. But
I do have one more award.
Okay.
This is called the Fantasy Reach Around.
All right.
Okay. Now, this is the most annoying league mate. But I'm going to give him an intro music. Ladies and gentlemen, he's your current Super Bowl champion. It is Gift.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
Yes, sir. Welcome. Welcome.
Look, I'm going to say, first, it sucked losing the championship, but hearing the Lamar diss come out of a certain member's mouth, a certain co-host, made my night. So,
For running back.
Yeah, not bad for running back, but no, we got to get back to your award.
Hey, look, Louisville has 2 solid quarterbacks in the league now. I'm just saying that. I'm just going, okay. We got Tyler. We're shucking now, baby.
Nice,
we're shucking.
Yeah, you got like a fourth of Oklahoma. Good job. But no, back to the Fantasy Reach Around Award, which I really do want to make a trophy of this and send to somebody. Most annoying league mate, ladies and gentlemen. What this is really just a fun way to get 2 of these guys on the screen at the same time here in a second. But GIF constantly, like early on, like week 4, 5, maybe just like, hey, good job, Ryan. Good win. Just sucking him off. And at first it was like, okay, cool. That's nice. It's wholesome. right? That's sportsmanship. That's what we want here. But then I wonder, did you tank this championship that you played against Ryan? Did you give once again?
No, believe me.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Did you tell Jared Goff to
I
throw
wish
5 picks?
I wish I could. Oh,
Did you tell Green Bay not to give Josh Jacobs the ball?
Oh,
Josh Jacobs get injured.
JSN. Oh,
Yeah.
it was a sad day. It was a sad day. Cook didn't get a touchdown.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, for you all at home, for the context clues, right? So I played Ryan last week and lost. Giff, you played Jason, I believe, right? And and you defeated him handily. Really to the actual tune of 160.96 points, to 119. And then in your championship match, 83.88 points. And whenever I saw it where it was like 60 points, kind of earlier on, I was like, did you not fucking play people? Like what
I played people.
Oh no, you did. I
fucking played people.
The only one that showed up was Colston Loveland, who I drafted and dropped like a bad habit.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if we're looking, I mean, finally he showed up, but he's been having a decent couple of weeks, man. And he was the hole that fixed the Tucker Kraft getting injured for me. So I can't hit on that guy. Yeah. That was the bright spot.
Yeah, no, he was. And I mean, Puka Nacua got you 15 points. JSN got you 16.
James Cook, though.
But it was just like, dude, these guys were slated to get 20-25. Puka Nacua was like estimated at 25 points.
Alec Pierce,
just because he goes from his 46.5 point performance,
Pierce, man.
Right? And and then JSN, I mean, they've been on fire, on a tear. He's been up and down, but his up and down has been, 28 points, 18 points, 23. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so even his, lows are still like really good, wide receiver.
Like Mabry said in the beginning of the show, Darnold turns into a pumpkin, man, and that really affected JSN because he had a hot streak going, but he was getting a little cold there towards the end of the season, and that's only because Darnold, was Darnold.
Yep.
He saw ghosts again sometimes, but
Yeah, because before that 4-week stretch, you had 4 points from JSN, and then you had 37.10. I mean, right there was literally your best, from your best game to your worst game,
right?
Which we've seen with other players, but yeah, man, I mean, it just sucks, brother. I'm not trying to rub this in, just for context, cool, because man. For people at home, they might be in the same boat, or honestly, like they might be in the boat next year, where they draft better, or they attack the waiver wires and they stay in the mix, and then have that playoff push, and then it just falls short sometimes. But
then,
how are you feeling? Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug?
No, right I mean, I don't need a hug. I'm looking at my championship from last year, so that's curing the woes. But like I said a couple weeks ago, man, fantasy football, it's just a matter of luck. It is like 90% luck. 1 week you're going to have all your players get hot. Next week, maybe 2. And for my championship, my luck finally ran out. So
it
is what it is.
Your boat was the Titanic and Ryan was the iceberg.
Oh man, I'm telling you. But I was looking at the matchups.
Yeah.
That iceberg is closer than we thought. There's not enough room for me. I'm going to jump out real quick.
Shit.
All right, we have our hold on.
Hello, champion.
Let me do this right, Ryan.
Congratulations.
Yes. Our waiver wire champion, much less won the whole thing. Tvshka is still wanting me as a commissioner to look into our waiver wire setup, because he's like, how is Ryan always ahead of me in waivers? Because every time I want to play, Ryan picks him up. I'm not going back to the Bucky Irving gate, but every time I'm like looking on, I get a notification. Oh, Ryan's picking somebody up. And we had, obviously, you've been on the show, and thank you for filling in for me and Tvshka these past few weeks. But yeah, congratulations. I mean, you killed the waiver wire, and that's why waiver wires, if you focus on the waiver wire, sometimes it works out. Also, it helps when your opponent, players just forget how to play football.
Yes, I thank you. I thank you for this award. I printed it ahead of time because I already knew I was gonna win this. No,
is that a Pulitzer? Right.
Yeah. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know what we're saying week to week is be lucky. I know for a fact I was lucky semifinals because I easily could have lost that one. I had a great beginning of the playoffs, and then this week was just. Yeah, for you and me.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry but let's turn back the clock or whatever to what I think week 2, week 3. I beat the champion now by a field goal, so karma came back and bit me in the ass, maybe. So who the hell knows?
Oh no, not even a field goal. I think it was an extra point.
Yeah,
I was so thrilled about that one.
I won one of my playoff games by 1.5 points this year. So I felt bad, but I was laughing the whole time because it was my buddy. So I was like, because it was literally Devon Achane getting some garbage catch that put it over the edge. And then I got destroyed the next game. Still got third. But yeah, no, it's just like Giff was saying, it's fantasy football at the end of the day. You still put yourself in the best position. So you still have strategy and stuff like that. But there's a reason it's called D&D for jocks, because you're still rolling the dice.
Hell yeah.
So I thought I was going to be able to fit everybody in here. Okay.
You did.
We're here. Everybody's here.
Yeah. But Ryan, a gift. I guess I'll apologize for the fact you didn't win this year, because if it wasn't for me and Tvshka being so awesome and Ryan watching our show and joining our Discord and therefore joining our league, you might be champion still 2 years in a row. How about that? Yeah, that's right. I'm bringing it still back to us. I'm not saying it's narcissism, but I'm just going to bring that on to me and Tvshka.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Yeah, Ryan, congratulations. First and foremost. Yep. Congrats, buddy. You did it.
Thank you.
Yes, man.
On screen, you literally
hell of a season.
You have your 3 previous opponents. One current as far as with GIF, but man, yeah, congratulations on that. GIF, do you have any yes. words or remarks as you leave your seat, you leave the throne as our 2024 champion?
It was a good year. I mean, I'm surprised they made it to the championship. The way, the number I got drafted, I was thinking like, all right, my goal coming into this season was, as long as I make the playoffs, I'll be happy. But I made it to the championship. And of course, my luck wasn't in my favor. But looking back on it, Tucker Kraft gets hurt. That could have ruined my season, but I still, kept chugging along and stuff like that. But this season, I never could figure out the flex position. I had Henderson, I had Pierce, but I just never figured that out. I mean, everywhere else I was good. The QB situation, I don't know, Love and Goff, that was, I don't know. But it was a great year for me, and I'll gladly lose to a guy like Ryan. So my hat's off to you, man.
God.
All right, look, guys.
We're done with the reach around award.
When I messaged Ron, I was like, "Hey, when you jump on and say congratulations because you're our champion?" He's like, "Sure." I messaged Giff. I was like, "Hey, can you pass the torch to your boyfriend?" He's like, "Sure."
Yeah, but no, Giff. I mean, you say you didn't figure it out, but you still scored the most points in the league. 1,992.32 points.
Yeah.
You also had, one of the higher against. Not as much as a Bang Bang Niner gang, who had 1,867.48 points against them. So that's rough. But
sounds like Niners defense.
No, yeah, exactly. But I mean, you did very well this season. Again, I thought maybe we're gonna have a 2-time champion. But after, just kind of like seeing like Ryan's team kind of catching heat, it was just, oh, dude, That Michael
Yeah,
Wilson.
I
I'm
was-
pissed about Michael Wilson. He should be on. Should have been on my team, bro. Should have been on my team.
Oh, so I'm sorry, Michael Wilson. You were also an honorable mention on waivers, on the waiver person of pickup of the year, because I picked him up. And I remember on the show, I was like, I don't know about that. And then I looked at it again. I said on the show, I was like, I don't know about Michael Wilson. And then I looked, I'm like, wait, they're just going to throw the ball a lot. And Marvin Harrison's out. So I'm like, yeah. Yep. And so I picked him up in a couple of leagues. And
Brissett's been, the best for the Cardinals over Kyler Murray. But yeah, Ryan.
My whole goal for this was try to figure out a way with my full team. How do I beat the trifecta of Cook, JSN, and Puka? And it was rough because sometimes they would just carry you, and then everything else was decent enough, and you took care of business. I was thinking if one of those three falter during the finals, I might have a chance. And luckily they all did, basically.
They all did. Yeah.
So
Ouch.
I had that in the league that I got third because I was basically very top heavy. I had Stafford, Achane, Amon-Ra, and JSN. And if one of those guys faltered, like Tony Pollard was my number 2 running back on the season. So I was like, and then Amon-Ra just kind of faltered throughout the last half of the season. And I was like, all right, well, I'm glad I've got third out of the whole thing. But yeah, if that's the one thing when you're top heavy, you run the risk of that. Whereas granted, you still have to be all the luck, but yeah, when you're top heavy like that, and if one of those guys miss, it's you can't expect Tony Pollard to go out there and get you 20 type of thing.
And yeah, I definitely understand if I'm winning the waiver wire award, because I definitely hit that, because my lineup, I think my only finished with for the championship was probably McBride and
Bijan Robinson.
And everybody else was switched out. And I mean, picking up the Texans, picking up the Aubrey off the waiver wire, and Travion Henderson, picking him up. It was just all these things that helped me throughout, and they didn't all hit on the championship, but it got me going for most of this time. And
I mean, Joe Burrow, like I remember that one show. I was like, hey, he's coming back. He might be a pickup. Now I already had Stafford, so I was like, I don't need to pick up Burrow, but I don't know what your quarterback was in the situation, but I'm like, he would be a great solid pickup just to, all right, let's see if the Bengals, what he does. Because Joe Burrow's a competitor. He's going to go out there.
Yeah, I have Hurts. I didn't need him. So I picked him up, put him in my IR until the time came. And this week was the first time I played him.
Yeah. How did you get Hurts?
Well, that's what happens when I have to trade with you because I have 2 tight ends because you're all messed up on your
that's another hand up award on me. I was traveling and while y'all were doing the draft, and Tvshka was like, I messed up and I had to pause it and I was traveling. So.
Yeah, no, we're good. If you want to see that faux pas, definitely. Watch the draft episode. But for your draft, I mean, Hurts was the only quarterback you drafted. You didn't draft a backup quarterback. Trent McBride in the third, Chase Brown in the second, which you did drop, and
which made sense. Again, because we talked that he's been brought up a few times tonight, and we only have 5 bench spots. By the time we started to drop him, bye weeks were coming around. He wasn't doing anything. We didn't know that Flacco was going to be, picked up.
Yeah, midseason.
I mean, it's what made sense to drop, and that's the one thing that's bothered me all season was that one. But what can you do?
I don't think it needs to bother you anymore.
All right.
We'll still push that in your craw,
right?
But no. And then Bijan Robinson, Pacheco was that injury, kind of bust for everybody. But Swift, I mean, he showed up there, after the bye weeks. Golden, that was a big whiff for a lot of us, especially in our draft.
Oh man,
for dynasty leagues too. Roman Dunze, Pearsall, Eckler, Pittman, Mooney, the Vikings defense. I don't know if you had them in that week where they scored 30 plus points. But yeah, no, you did very well. It just things happen as they always do, injuries. And then you made the adjustments, and it proved very well because you are the 2025 Ruckus Fantasy Football League champion, sir. Congratulations.
You're and Tvshka will get with you to figure out your trophy situation. So
Yeah.
you will have something, and you and Tvshka can figure out that. So every year, GIF, don't you have a belt?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and he has a belt, and then our local lawyer Daniel Haygood, who was our 2023 winner, he has.
Did the check not go through? I thought he was going to be on.
No,
I guess the check didn't clear. Okay,
no,
All right.
he's at his acting class. And
All right, well, kill the joke. That's fine.
that's what I do half the time. Either I explain the joke or I kill the joke. It's one or the other.
But GIF, I know you were trying to say something. Your
Yes.
service is good. What you got, bud?
What was I gonna say? Shit, now I forget.
While you're thinking of that, Ryan,
fuck.
belt,
Yes.
trophy, or ring?
It won't be the ring, but I want to see what the belt and the trophy would look like. If you can pull that up and send it over at some point. I got to make a decision because it's pretty important, because when I go back to back next year, I want to make sure I know which one.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. This guy.
See, you had such a good reach around relationship, and then you had to say you're going to win back to back when you just prevented GIF from going back to back. So now there's trouble in River City.
You know what? Hey. I like the enthusiasm, and I'm semi-hard right now, so I'll take it.
And that.
Oh
is
no,
why your
GIF,
camera's
we
off.
lost your connection. Oh no. Oh no. No, we love it. Hey, but GIF, we love you, brother. Stick around. Ryan, any final words for the folks? Your acceptance speech for your league championship.
I mean, last year I just found you guys randomly on YouTube and kind of just was listening in, chatting in, and invited me on to play the season. Didn't think I'd win the whole thing, but hey, I'm not complaining. And at least I set my lineups, so and that's half the battle, right? So you never know when you invite some people in, you don't know what you're gonna get. Obviously, I took care of business. We'll see what next year brings.
Yeah, you did. Next year, don't set up all your lineups, okay? Don't do that good. Josh, any final words for the fine folks before we head out of here?
Yeah, congratulations, Ryan. Thank you, GIF, for joining us. If we still are doing our book club, I believe we might be doing it this Friday, but I know with the holiday stuff, I'll still have to get with Soul, Ryan.
Yeah, let me know.
We'll let you know on that. But yes, we're doing The Long Walk by Stephen King. It is not your typical Stephen King. It's more of the Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, Stephen King type of novels, not the killer clowns, killer monster trucks, whatever, killer dogs. I think I'm 3 for 3 on those things.
Yeah.
For that, as far as Stephen King, so far I'm enjoying it for what it is. Obviously, it's based off the movie, so we'll be doing that book club there, and obviously Ryan will probably join us there because he wanted us to read the book anyway. But thank you for that. Also, thank you all for joining us this whole season. We will be back. We obviously do a draft special, but thank you all. I'm forgetting the guy that used to join us all the time, and Jake. Shout out to Jake that was joining us throughout the season. That the Jets fan that would join us over there. Obviously, Ryan and GIF for keeping the chat alive throughout the season. Ryan for jumping in, and GIF for jumping in during the season. So thank you guys enough for keeping this show rolling and bringing out the content. Obviously, Tvshka, it's always a pleasure doing this with you every year. Even though I kill jokes and screw that up all the time and then ramble too much like I'm doing now.
No, you're doing good. But yeah, we got the book club Thursdays. You and Justin can rant about wrestling. But then also after the new year, we're going to come back with Wrap It Up, the sports wrap up show. And it's bracket bitch season. We're still got a lot of tournaments that will be going on over the next couple of months leading into the main bracket, being the NCAA tournament. So definitely stay tuned for it. Like, subscribe, because we like you guys. We subscribe to you guys having better health, better wealth in the new year. We'll see you.
Happy New Year.
Peace. Which button is it?
You missed the wave.
Yeah,
I
you
missed
can't
the
say-
wave.
You can't say that when we're live, kid. Especially not when you're